a name that means in the house of the comals. Because the pre-Hispanic archaeological zone that we have is made with this material. The bricks, the indigenous people made bricks because they didn't have stone. And they built with the bricks with this, the same material. The comal is used to, we put this on fire and we put the cacao seeds already dry and we put them to cook, to roast. Okay? And then once they are roasted, I don't have cacao now, we break it and we make like this. We take off the skin. The difference between our chocolate and the chocolate in Oaxaca, that Oaxaca has a lot of tradition of making chocolate, but they didn't have cacao plantations. The cacao plantations in Mexico are in Tabasco and in Chiapas. Just Tabasco and Chiapas. And the difference from the Tabasco chocolate and the chocolate from Oaxaca is exactly this part. In Tabasco we take off the skin. In Chiapas they put the seeds roasted in the mill. They don't take off the skin. These are used to make the cacao paste. Cacao oil comes out at melt at 33 degrees. So our temperature in the body is 36. So the chocolate that melted in your mouth and not in your hands doesn't have cacao butter. Cannot have, because chemically the cacao butter melts at 33. So if you put it in your hand, it has to melt. Okay? So in 33 degrees, you have to put stones with hard stones and make this. And this process is going to obtain the cacao paste. Indigenous people never ever make a tablet of chocolate and put it in some places in order to wait for preparing the chocolate. Pre-Hispanic people always prepare the paste and then they put it in water. In water to prepare the chocolate. To prepare the choco atl. Choco atl is a Nahuatl name that means bitter water. So we put, indigenous people put the cacao over here, the paste and water. And this piece is our jars. We didn't use jars in Tabasco, we used this. And we didn't have molinillos. Molinillos are from Oaxaca. This is from Oaxaca. We have this, majas. And this is used to make this. If you know something about it, yes, if you know something about chocolate, if you know there is a machine called concha.
Yeah.
You know the concha?
Yeah.
The process and the shape is very similar. The concha is like this and the process is like this, of course like this, and the chocolate has to golpear, to beat the walls, to hit the walls in order to be a better and more...
so more crunching, so better the taste.
Exactly, and it's something like that. This is the process, okay? And this is how we collect the cacao fruits. In the plantation, the workers use this, they put this in the hut.
And then they carry it.
Yes.
To carry it. No?
Yes. The cacao, they use like this. Okay, and they have to do like this in order to take the cacao fruits. And they put the cacao fruits in some special places called the breakers, quebraderos. Breakers, because in that places they collect all the cacao fruits and then they break it one day in order to take. In the special place that you are going to see, they began the process of fermentation naturally because it becomes juice. Okay? And this is some other things. This is a chontal. Here in Tabasco we are, the indigenous people we have are called chontales. Because of the, yes. And I have this in order for you to see the difference.
Oh, yes.
For us, it's a very special hut because this is here and the hut cannot go away. And for us, the head stays here and this is for like a ventilator or something.
Yeah.
You know. Okay? The chicalis or jicaras. You remember the tree? These are the chicalis. These are the instruments for drinking. In Europe, the special the special cups used to drink the chocolate was called, I don't know if you have ever heard about mancerinas. Mancerina is a special cup, and they have a plate with something like that, a porcelain plate, with something like a roll in the plate, and cups without handle, yes. And you put in the thing over here the mancerina. I don't have a mancerina. I wanna have one, but I cannot take it.
They send it to you.
Yes, I hope so.
They will.
In Belgium and in Europe, they have a lot of that.
Yeah.
I was in the chocolate salon of chocolate in Paris, and they have a lot of that pieces. But for me, it's very difficult to bring it. Okay, their pieces are based on these things, on the chicalis with this thing, the jaguar. It's used to drink, the typical drink is to drink also the chocolate. These are used to drink, these are used to take a bath, and these are used to, when you prepare the pozol, the typical drink that you drank, the cacao and corn, the corn has like a skin, and it's very, very bad for drinking. When the corn has that skin, you have to take the skin away with this. Exactly. Okay. Now, that's the final part of this. We're going to see that we are going to explain the process. I just want you to see this. This is the only places around the world where we can have cacao plantations. Just in the tropical places, between the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. Cacao, the origin of cacao is this, America. Biologically speaking, is these places. Historically and culturally speaking, is Mexican. Because the Spanish people knew the cacao in Mexico. In Mexico, when the Spanish people came, we already had plantations, cacao plantations. Because people use the cacao like a currency, like a coin, like money. And also, it's called toya. This toya is a single trunk of a mahogany tree. It's a very, very old tree. Now we don't have cacao, but when we have cacao, when we collect cacao, we put the cacao seeds inside here. We put the cacao seeds over here and we let them... Me lo dejó Claudia. Vino Claudia. Este está bueno. Hay que probarlo entonces. You have to try it. This is a good one. This is already taken by the other tourists. You have to try it. Just don't buy it. Don't buy. No, don't buy. Just only the.
Suck it.
Yes, suck it. You just have to suck it. I'm sorry, I didn't. Exactly because of that. But you have to suck it. Don't buy them. This thing that you are trying is the one that helps in the process of fermentation becoming juice. It's sweet. It's a little bit acid. It's very different. Doesn't have anything to do with chocolate.
Exactly.
Nothing to do with chocolate.
It tastes a little bit. Es tamarindo.
Ácido, dulce. Así es. ¿Lo mordió? ¿Me buy? Did you buy it? Why?
No.
Don't buy it.
No, she just got it from Kate.
I didn't do anything. I just accused her.
Okay. Now I'm going to cut it for you because I want you to see the difference inside. This is a foreigner, so it has to be this color. Purple. Do you know red wine? Mm-hmm. The red wine has tanninos.
Yeah.
Okay, the chocolate, the foreigners have a lot of tanninos. That's why they have this color. Purple. The criollo, the original criollo is white inside. Doesn't have tanninos, so it's a very special kind of cacao with a lot of aroma, but not so many acid. You know. If you let this fermented for 8 days, the chocolate you are going to get is a very, very strong chocolate, very acid, like a lemon. And you have to do a lot of things with the concha, a lot of time in order to take off the acid of this. But it's a strong chocolate with a strong flavor and a strong color.
And the fermentation is 8 hours?
No, 8 days.
8 days.
But the fermentation, this process is very, very complex because here in Tabasco we have 4 kinds of cacaos. The washed cacaos, you just take the seeds like that and you just wash it and put them to dry. Are very plain, not so many aroma, not so many flavor, but are used to make chocolates for drinking. There are benefit cacaos from 2 to 4 days of fermentation, and they are fermented from 5 to 8 days. We let the cacaos 6 days, just 6 days. The chocolate that you drink were made with cacao with 6 days of fermentation. But it's in the process of mixing with the sugar and whatever, then the level of acidity is just taken off. And also, you drink a cacao with chocolate with 40% cacao, just the 60% was sugar and cinnamon. And we also have the 70%, but it's a very strong chocolate, very bitter. Okay, after we have this, we use these things to have the seeds and wash it. And once we wash it, we put them to dry over the dry. Once this is dry, we use this machine, believe it or not. We use this machine, it's a roaster, to roast the seeds. Yes. Then once this is already roasted, thank you, let's go. When this is already roasted, we use this machine to break the seeds and separate the nib from the skin. This is a nib. See? This is already roasted. This is just the nib, the inside part, without the skin. And this is the skin. The skin also smell. This is because of the process of fermentation. The flavor comes like 5 months ago. We wanted to use it. We just need something that we don't have. This is yes, it's 3 processes in one. It's a molino chileno, a melanger. This thing is, we have 3 machines. The mill to make the paste, to refine, the refiner. It's okay, refinar, the refiner, and the concha or the mixer. Okay, this machine, mill, refine, and mix. It's the 3 in 1. These things are stone, and this is a stone. This is a stone against a stone. These stones do like this. This turns like this, and this is what the concha makes. This and this, this and this. So are 3 processes in 1. It's a very old machine, but it's the very best machines all around the world to make the chocolate. It's the table chocolate.
Aber hier ist, das ist ja keine Concha?
No, it's I think it's French. It's called melanger.
Ja, aber das unten wahrscheinlich und
It's exactly
Dieser
the
macht den
principle
Conching-Part,
that we use in the metaphor.
Aber nicht
Stone
zum gewissen
against
Sinne
stone.
nur, weil
Yeah,
dann wird er mehr
it's
gemacht.
exactly the
Und
same.
du musst auch warm machen zum Crunch.
And this thing is like the molinillo.
No, it's,
Ja, aber durch die
the way it's
Temperatur.
made.
The process has to follow in this machine. And we have a little machine now for making the chocolate. We just use cacao roasted, sugar, and cinnamon. That's all we use. And we just put the cacao, we mill the cacao in a mill, in a refined machine, and then in the mixer. And we use this part in order to put the chocolate into the mouth. This machine like that, over there, now they clean the machine, but that machine has something like this. We put the chocolate in the machine, and we compress air. They just had the chocolate in his mouth, his mold.
In the mold.
In the mold, exactly. And then the freezer, just we use a freezer in order to make the tablets. And that's all. You are going to try the tablets in the store. And this, the cocoa powder, cacao powder. We don't have the press. There is a very big machine, the press, that press the cacao paste and take off the oil, the butter, the cacao butter. And what remains in the machine is the cacao powder. Okay? Well, it becomes cacao powder. It's a very, very strong thing, like a stone. but then you break it and whatever, and you obtain this cacao powder. We don't have the press. This is the cacao powder. With only 10% of oil. It's very bitter, very, very bitter. Be very careful because it's not good for eating. It's very bitter. And this is just 10% of oil. It's cacao pressed. Cacao pressed.
It's without sugar.
Without sugar. It's just cacao pressed. Cacao pressed. That's all. I don't have the press, but I belong to an union of cacao producers in Mexico, and they have the press. They make the process, and we have the fábrica.
Factory.
The factory. We have the factory in Cárdenas, 30 minutes from here. So I buy this from them, and I mix this with sugar and cinnamon, and with sugar, cinnamon, and oats, and it's the drinking that you drink. We mix that in this thing, the powder mixer, and then a meal, and then we just put it in the bags. That's all. It's very natural. It doesn't have anything. We don't use chemicals. Not in no way. Muele, retina y mezcla. Ajá. Ahora vamos a ver. Let's going to see. This is for the bags and this is for the cans. That's all we use.
Bolsas, 12, o sea, chucho. No barra.
This is the and we still use this machine, the one that I told you about. And we don't have the other machine already installed. We use this. This is the mill, the refiner, and the concha. We use it like a mixer. And this is a German machine.
VEB,
Volkswagen Betrieb.
Yes, I think it's from the
East Germany.
East. Yes.
but it's no problem.
This machine, next year, no, this year, I'm sorry, we are in January now. This year, the factory is going to have 50 years old. My grandfather began with the machines that are in the museum, and then this in 1958.
Wow.
And this machine was about used, already working. So this is a very, very good machine because it has more than 50 years working every single day. If you want to see it inside, and you think we don't have chocolate over here, we have a little bit of chocolate over here. This is do you remember what I told you about the shape of the instruments over there? Is almost the same principle. You see? This chocolate over there is the one we put there, the tablets that are breaked when you, and we put it over there just for the next time. Can you smell? It's a very strong flavor. Okay? Let's go! See?
Ja, und so ist es auch mit der, aber das ist nicht die zum, naja, die neuen sind so ähnlich ist auch diese Baby-Fülle, das darf nur zwei.
And they asked me the pictures that have the hacienda in the ancient times in order to put it in the restaurant. And I don't have, that was a week ago, so I don't have the copies. Sorry, but this is my grandfather. This is the German immigrant. The mustache is very from the times, you know. Yeah. Okay, my grandfather came to Mexico in the 20s. He was a doctor, a surgeon. But he really likes building, construction. I don't know how advanced is education in Germany or what happened, but they bought some books about building and whatever, and they worked 10 years in public construction in Comalcalco. They built the first building for the Union of Cacao Producers. He was one of the ones who began with the Union of Cacao Producers. he built this building. Is here 2 blocks from here in the park. Bridges for us are very important. The bridges because we are surrounded by water. This was the church, and my grandfather built the new church. That is the one that we have now in front. The church. Schools. He built a lot of schools. The market, and this is my father, my grandfather, my grandmother. My grandmother is from here, from Tabasco. This is her house. She's 100 years old. Oh, in March is going to have 101 years old. She is the one that told me a lot of things about it, the history of my grandfather and some of that. This is my mother. This is a president of Mexico, Adolfo López Mateos. This is a very, very old picture. This is my grandfather. And all the things that we have here, we have it in the picture, we have the things over there. The bags and the, and the books and whatever. This is my grandfather in the 20s. This is archaeologist Franz Blom and archaeologist Oliver Lafarge. They the ones that work in Palenque. They
In San Cristobal.
In San Cristobal, exactly. And this is the 2 Germans that were the ones that have the Cocoa Plantation in Chiapas, the Firestone Plantation Company. At that time, my grandfather was working in the plantation as the doctor of the plantation. And then he came to, this is in Villahermosa, the more advanced town in that times, in these places. They get together over there, and after that in Villahermosa they knew my grandmother here in Comalcalco, and he stayed in Comalcalco. He got married and he stays here. And he bought the hacienda in 1930. And the hacienda was a very old hacienda, maybe from 1890 or something like that. We really don't know, we don't have the date, the exact date. But it was an ancient hacienda, and my grandfather in 6 years he rebuilt the hacienda. Not rebuilt, he just made some arrangements. He put this and some walls, and But the architecture is exactly the same of the house. This is a political people. This is my grandmother in a how do you say flat inundación.
The flood.
Flow.
Überschwemmung.
Yes, in 1932, a very big one. Now we have a very big one.
The worst one.
Yes, exactly. Not exactly the worst one. It's the worst because we have a lot of population, and in that time we didn't have so many population. But this is like a cycle, Every
That's what they said.
yes, 1932. But for